That's so good. Okay. Well, we won't keep you long because I want you to enjoy your quiet time when they're napping as well. But I just want to touch base a little bit since we've talked last on the phone. I know we've kept obviously in contact through Messenger and whatnot. So tell me a little bit how your launch party's going.
I tweaked the message you sent to me about what to send them, because some people I talked to them slightly different, or I haven't talked to a couple of them in a while, so I massaged the note or whatever, and some of them came back saying, yeah, I want nothing to do with hosting, but I'm more than happy to support you.
Okay.
And one person I convinced her, like she said, well, maybe my mom could co-host with me or something. And I said, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Just because she was in the middle of something. But,
okay.
So, I mean, I have one person has confirmed, yes, let's do the 20th.
Okay.
And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that said this month is jam-packed. I don't have time for anything. How about next month? And I said, are you sure? Because here's the incentive for this month, and next month it's just as great, but you're limited.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, next month's just better. So I was like, oh, okay, fine.
Okay. Who's the one on the 20th?
Shannon.
Okay. And she's virtual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she lives in Missouri. So
oh, okay. Yeah.
Not going over there.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And then you were going to say something else, I think. You were continuing.
So Sarah, she is having surgery today.
Okay.
She has colon cancer.
Oh.
And so she's going to be in the hospital till like Monday or something.
Uh-huh.
But she's like, no, I really want to have a party and I really want to host. I said, well, why don't you just wait till you see how you're feeling? So she was thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll try to do the 27th.
Okay.
So she's a big baby, but she really, really wants to.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I haven't harassed my mom yet to Tuesday yet, but
okay.
As far as she goes, she's not much on Facebook. Like she posts every now and then, but as far as hosting and me as the consultant, isn't there like shared posting? Like they can post something, but then I post other things, and then we're both posting.
Yeah, you'll always have posts, and we'll talk about this too, but you'll always have post for your host to post. That's a lot of rhyming right there. But so you're going to always, like every morning or whatever, send them, hey, here's an interactive post, and you're going to basically give it to them, so they're just going to copy and paste it type of thing.
Yeah.
But if so one thing for her, you could do the Facebook aspect, but any party can also have like a catalog party alongside of it as well. And so you could give her catalogs, and she could obviously pass those around at work or wherever she's out and about. She can also, I just did my very first texting party as well. So you could do that type of thing with her as well if she's not so, just for people that are not so much on Facebook.
Yeah, I think she would be interested in the virtual catalog. Not so much the texting. She sucks at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure how her friends are, but I know she's not the greatest.
Yeah, and if you can always send host catalogs, if you want to. So yeah, you could do that for her.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
The submitting receipts and sales and stuff. So I know I don't want to. I think I know. I don't want to submit anything until the end of the party. But what about sending receipts?
So the system actually automatically does the receipts for us. So there is a button in their order to resend it if you, for whatever reason, need to.
Okay.
Like, I think that would be in the case if you were to go in and adjust their order and, you know, obviously tell them, maybe add something and tell them their new total, but maybe they want a receipt for it. So that's kind of where you would resend it.
Okay.
But yeah, right when they place an order, they will get a confirmation email with the receipt in it.
Good. Because I got I have 2 alerts. Kim and Mary both placed orders.
Okay.
And it says, Kim Byers has added an order to your show. Please review the guest cart. I mean, what's the purpose of reviewing their cart? Is it to add, I guess, like what you said, add more things to it?
No, I think maybe that's just like a courtesy. I don't know. I don't know why they put that, to be really honest with you.
Okay.
Because there's nothing you have to go in and adjust unless, like, you know, they say, actually, yeah, they say that they want to add something or whatnot. Which actually, that's how it used to be. So, you know, Pampered Chef is updating their system. And so they're actually...
Yeah, apparently they did it right before I started.
Yes. So they're actually making it... Yeah, it's really nice now. Oh my gosh. But I think that they're making it so that we don't even have to go and adjust. They can place a second order and like it'll connect with their first one, or I don't really, honestly, I don't know that exactly, but right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are new updates coming, which is nice to help us, you know, make things easier.
Yeah, no, I'm my friend Laura, she was showing me all these things when she started Scentsy, with having to find out the sales tax and other things, and I thought, gosh, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Our training stuff is pretty much handed to you, which is really nice.
It's great. I mean, you don't have to know what you're doing at all.
Right? It walks you through it.
Watch a video and click. Yeah.
Maybe you need to get her to join your team and say, "Look how easy this is."
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there, right on the cusp of saying. I mean, I'm going to show her. See, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this so much easier? And then just kind of have her hop on.
And did she book a party?
She has a couple of bingo parties this month, so she said September would be better for her too.
Next month, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so I'm going to go back to the list of people that you gave me just off the top of your head last call that we talked. So your mom, Laura was the first one, so that's next month. Your mom, of course, you said you're going to try to get her for this month. What about Nikki? Have you reached out to her?
She said no way.
Okay, no way.
Like,
okay, yeah. Anna?
And Anna, she's too anxious. She said, "No, I'll watch your kids for you while you're on the computer, but I won't."
That's funny.
Okay.
Okay. What about Kelsey?
Kelsey is the one that wanted to combo with her mom.
Okay.
But I haven't touched base if she wanted to do it this month or not. Or no, I did text her. She just hasn't responded.
Okay. Perfect.
If she wanted to do it, yeah.
Okay. What about Amanda?
And Amanda said, oh, no, she said no. She said, "Oh, I'll support you."
Okay.
I'm trying to read my notes here.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
She'll support me, but she won't do it.
Ryan?
And Ryan said he'd do it.
Okay.
But he hasn't even joined my party that's ending today.
Okay. And that's okay.
Dude. Sorry, that's my older brother. He's kind of a space case.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, you know, if he couldn't join, he can still book one. Yeah. So, and then is it Hannah or Hannah?
Hannah, she never got back to me.
Okay. And then what about Bill?
And Bill never got back to me.
Okay. And then,
but
go ahead.
I do have a couple other people. So Eric, brother-in-law, he said he'd be down to do one in September.
Awesome.
And then Brittany needed to check her schedule. She's hoping to do one this month, but she needs to check her work schedule to, I don't know, just to see where she can have her, I guess it's stressful at work. So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's think of, or I guess what other avenues have you gone for bookings as well? Like, have you started with your Facebook friends? Obviously, you said that you did your launch party people.
So I've shared my page a couple of times on my timeline. I think once or twice.
Okay.
And then I'm part of a Monroe group and businesses in Duval. I posted on there, but nobody has commented or liked it or anything. So I really thought those would be, number one, because I typed a search in those groups, Pampered Chef, and the last thing that showed up was like 2015 or 2018, saying, hey, who's a Pampered Chef rep? And I thought, oh, sweet. So it's only been people asking for Pampered Chef reps. Nobody is saying, hey, I'm a rep. So I thought it would be a I don't know, slam dunk, but so far not.
Okay. And then have you reached out to people individually, like your Facebook friends, or no? Not yet?
Only the people who joined today.
Okay. Okay, so
not today. Only those who had joined the launch party. The
launch party, which I looked today, and it was about 32 people, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think somebody else added themselves, I don't know, like overnight, because I thought it was 28, and then I saw it was 31. And
yeah. People join last minute, too. It's like, even after the fact, sometimes they join. It's funny.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just looking at your Facebook right now, and so you have 215 Facebook friends, okay? So I think that's where we're going to go next, and you have the words, obviously, to use, and we call this green dotting, and it's basically going on Facebook, and it is messaging anybody that's active that has a green dot next to their name. That basically just means that they're on Facebook right then. And so what I like to do is do this every once in a while, obviously, when we're getting bookings. I'm going to also teach you how to start growing your Facebook following so that you move quickly out of your friends and family. So that's kind of the avenue for bookings. I think that you're doing really good. I think you're obviously going to have a strong September too. But you do have a few this month. So do you have any starting this next week?
Besides pushing my mom to do it, I might as well. I'm half thinking, I'll just log in for you and do it.
Yeah. Do you think she'd be more worried about the post, like she wouldn't know how to post?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you could do that. And you could really walk her through. She might be a good practice one for you, and you could just say that, hey, can you be my guinea pig?
Yeah, no, and I was hoping I could, Laura would, I was thinking, I would love to have Laura and my mom simultaneously next week.
Okay.
Just because I've dove right in with mine. I thought, well, I know where to grab things. I've figured out how to navigate and have 13 tabs open at the same time.
Right.
I can.
Yeah.
I thought, well, yeah. What's one more? So, or two parties at once. So.
Yes.
I was really, really hoping for that, but that's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't give up yet. Okay. So it's definitely, you definitely still have time to book parties for the 13th. Okay. So that's what I would focus on. And I'm right there with you. Actually, I'm trying to book up my calendar for this month as well. I'm a little behind, which is totally fine. But so I think that what you can do is if you focus today and maybe even tomorrow and Saturday, like the next 3 days on booking the 13th and trying to at least get one or two, and then you can kind of move on. If you want to do more than two on that day, that's fine. But I would not give up. I would really start, reaching out to those Facebook friends. And are you also tracking your contacts too? It sounded like you were reading off notes.
I have a little notepad here that I put down important stuff.
Yeah. So that's good too. So as you're reaching out to those people on Facebook, you're going to, obviously be tracking who's responding to you, what are they saying and whatnot. And again, it's just simply reaching out to enough people. Okay. So that I think that you can definitely still get a few parties on the 13th. It would just be, sitting down and sending out a handful of messages today and tomorrow and maybe even Saturday. Do you think you want to do that?
Yeah, no, I can do that.
Okay. And I'll send you what I'm sending out to people. I know I already sent it to you yesterday, what I sent to my guests to my parties, but I can also send you what I'm just simply green dotting out as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's almost always the exact same wording. I might just tweak it just a little bit, but just it's about the same. But I'll still send you what I'm using.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, so let's pretend you have parties next week, and maybe we're gonna push your mom to even be your first guinea pig. So I want to kind of tell you a few key things that go into a party, and I looked through your launch party, and there's one key post that you haven't posted yet, and I know it's not over yet, so maybe you're posting it today. And then I also want to talk to you obviously about how to grow out of your friends and family circle, because that's a big concern that a lot of people have right when they start.
Yeah.
So number one thing with parties is, of course, the attendance. So that's the biggest thing that you're going to want to focus on in getting parties. And I give you words and exactly what you need to do to focus on attendance in that virtual party guide. So, of course, as you're doing the parties, with my help too, but as you're doing the parties, you're going to really want to refer to that virtual party guide. And, copy and paste the words that are there even. It's that simple. So, so I always tell my host to invite about 100 to 150 people, just like we did with your launch party. And then on top of that, I have them go through and I tell them, okay, now that you've invited that many, would go through and individually message about 60 people that you invited. Okay, so I tell them this is two ways that you're going to get people to join. People will join just by obviously the invite that they added them, and then more people will join by the individual invitation. Okay.
Yep. I completely agree with that too.
Yeah, it makes it more personal, which is good. And so, and I, like we did with yours, you saw I gave you the words to send out to people. So you're going to do that as well. And you'll have those hosts that, you tell them to invite 100 to 150 people and they'll invite 40 people or 19 people. Okay. And so don't be afraid. I want you to treat this, obviously it's a business, so let's treat it like a business. And so don't be afraid to, reach out to them and say, like, I always try to say it in a very encouraging way, like, oh my gosh, good job. I'm so excited you invited however many people, 19 people. I really want to make sure that we have a successful party. Is there any way that you can go in and invite 100 to 150 people or another group of people? And I just always refer back to those numbers because it's really key. If they truly do invite 150 people, we're going to have a great party. So I just repeat it. And so I just want to encourage you. Obviously, you're going to have those hosts that don't listen. And so just, watch that number and just see if you need to ask them to invite more people. And then the last thing with inviting is that by the day of the party starting, we want about 30 people that click going. And that's just kind of an average. More is, of course, better, but 30 is kind of minimum. So if you're getting closer to the start date and maybe you only have 9 people or 16 people or whatnot, then that would be something that I would reach out to the host and just say, hey, we're halfway there, again, in an encouraging way. Is there any way that I either tell them either you could go in and invite more people or you could go and send more individual messages to those people that you already did invite? And so usually that will get going. Don't be discouraged if the party, is at 15 people or maybe 25, you can still have a good party with less people, but of course the more people there, the better it just happens to be. Any questions on inviting?
No.
Okay. And then the next thing with parties is, and I think you kind of figured this out, so this we might be able to breeze through, but the post scheduling, did you use the Facebook scheduler?
I did it twice because I found out it was only letting me do a scheduled post if I was acting as my page and not myself.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's too many damn words.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Just and I thought, I don't want to confuse people. Because I know pretty much I know everybody who joined and was invited.
Mm-hmm.
So it made more sense that it was coming from me rather than my page of as if I didn't know them.
Yeah.
Like for other people, I would definitely use my page and not just me.
Mm-hmm.
Which then scheduling would actually work, but
yeah,
it wouldn't let me schedule a post as myself.
Okay. So a few things there. I understand, obviously, with your group of friends, too. They're your friends. They know you. But so with Facebook algorithm, you're going to actually get more, your posts are going to get more visibility if you're posting as your business page. And so we really do want to be posting as the business page. I get why you didn't in this party. That's totally fine. I don't think that your lunch party's bad at all. So that's great. But I think that posting as your business page is going to help the visibility too of posts just when you're not friends with those people, and things like that. So I'll tell you the scheduler that I use, and I like to tell you just so you know it's available. I know you're a stay-at-home mom, so maybe you don't need this and maybe you do. So the Facebook scheduler is free. It's all through Facebook. You basically do each individual party template individually. So you go into Sally's party, schedule all the posts. Then you'd have to go into Brenda's party and schedule all the posts or whatever. So what I use is called Post My Party, and it's basically just a third-party company. It does cost, and I'm not telling you have to go use this, but I just want you to know that it's available. And it's just $10 a month, but it really helps, especially when you're doing like 10 parties a week like I'm doing, or I try to do. I basically just connect it with one template. I put the host name so it specializes or, personalizes each party, and then I just click one button and it sets up all my parties. And so it's easier when you're doing a lot more. I have used the Facebook one. I like it. I think it's nice that it's free as well. But just so you know, if you start doing more parties, if you get up to 5 a week or whatever you decide to do, that other one is available too.
Well, and 5 a week, I think I could fork over the $10 a month.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it really does pay for itself. I mean, it's just the convenience of it when you're doing more, and obviously you're going to be making more money too. So it's like, that's so true.
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of the Facebook scheduler. And like I told you last call, there's obviously going to be a template every single month for you to use as well. You can tweak it and whatnot. And then the last thing I really wanted to go over was just a few posts that I have in every single template that I've done for 3 years now. And so the one that I didn't see you post so far is the Ask Me Anything. Have you posted, or is that in the plans to post today?
Yeah, I was supposed to do that earlier today.
That's okay.
We spent too much time at the park, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, so it's not too late to post.
I just wanted it earlier.
Yeah, it's okay. So that is one that really will start the recruiting process if you want to start building your team and whatnot. And so that is something, but also it's good for if people have product questions, or maybe they have questions about hosting a party or whatever. So it really gets people to open up for questions for you to answer. And then, of course, I saw that you did the giveaway, which is great, the Google Form giveaway. This is a great way to basically have your leads come to you. So this is a way that people are going to tell you, hey, I want to do a party, or I need to make extra income, or whatever it may be. And so that's one that I do in every single party. And then the next is what's it called? The guessing games, where they guess how many pieces of whatever are in whatever product. Those are super engaging, and so people, and I feel like they're quick, so if somebody's at work, they can quickly guess a number and be done. So those are going to be really good for just a lot of engagement. And then I do a Guess My Paycheck game. I do this simply because I want people to know the possibilities of Pampered Chef. So I want people to know that if you're really unhappy in your job, there's something else out there that you can make a really good income, with from home. And so what I usually do, and August template did not show this, but I usually show like a brand new consultant's first month paycheck. Then the second one I usually would do like maybe somebody who's a year in, and then I end with my paycheck. And so that just gives the wide spectrum of all different types of income you can make, and obviously there's people making way more than I am as well, but so that's something that's good. And don't feel like you have to use your paychecks. We are, as a team, we share our paychecks, and we share all that in the templates too, so those will be provided for you. Do you have any question about the templates at all?
No, I love the template.
Okay,
it's
good.
Very nice to just go back and forth, copy and paste, do some massaging. I mean, it's a breeze. It's awesome.
And I love that you've made it your own too. So even though it probably feels to you that you're copying and pasting, I can tell that I saw in your launch party, you were obviously using your pictures of you, which makes sense. And, so I think that it's good that you're obviously personalizing it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions so far about anything I've talked about?
Well, I was just, I guess, curious, and this is my first time ever making a page,
Yeah.
and then my first time ever making a group. So I'm not like 100%. I know everything Facebook-wise. So I was curious. Is there a reason why we do a group instead of an event?
So you can do it either way. I personally,
I just a little bit different.
yeah. So I personally use a group because with events you can't pre-schedule your posts.
Okay.
So that was, I used to always do events. Like, I love events. I will tell you something about myself. I hate groups, but I only use groups because I can pre-schedule my posts. And I've learned to like them, okay? Like, I had to teach myself because I was not going to go manually post in 10 different parties. So that is one thing. And then the second thing is I just recently learned with events through your business page, there's no way to make them a private event. They're all public, which I don't know if I don't really know if people do their parties in a public event, but I've always done them in a private event. So yeah, that's
well, yeah, because I mean, you're also sharing, I don't want to say personal, but
yeah.
You know who you're sending this info to or whatever.
Yes. And you never know if it's public. You never know what other consultant either too would maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why I use groups.
Is there a way, I mean, do you keep all of the groups, or is there a way to like hide them? Like,
yes.
If you're doing 10 groups a week, do you delete them or?
Yeah, so there's a way to like unlink them from your business page. So basically once I'm done doing my follow-ups and my booking messages, and once I'm kind of done with that party, I'll unlink it, and I can show you how to do that. It's really simple. But yeah, I didn't start doing that, and it got kind of chaotic, and I'm like, I got to do this. So I've started doing it weekly.
I have to clean out my groups every now and then. I wonder, how do I have 45 groups?
Yeah, exactly.
What is going on with
so
me?
many groups, I know. And you did this one through your business page, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So that's good too. Okay, so let's talk about how to grow out of your family and friends. So the biggest thing, and this is why attendance is so important, is because obviously the more people, not only the more orders, but also the more people that you get to ask for bookings too. So the key to grow your business is obviously ask everyone at the party. And so I'm just going to use your launch party as an example. You have 32 people. Obviously, 2 of those are us, so let's say 30 people that joined your launch party. And so if you were my host, I would go in the very last day of the party, or maybe even Wednesday, so the second to last day. And after I've established a relationship with all these people, they're in there, they're playing the games, they're asking questions, whatever. I friend request every single person. So I would be friend requesting 30 people. And then the next day or a day after, I would Facebook message each person, and I would say, hey, and I have the words that I already sent you actually, but basically I thank them for attending so-and-so's party. I tell them that you would get credit for the party and ask if they're interested in doing one. And so if you establish this system, basically of adding the friends and then messaging, you're really never going to be out of bookings. And so that's something I know I will just kind of tell you. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you friend request everybody? Like, I don't want them seeing my personal life or whatnot. I'll tell you my opinion on that is basically I want my customers to see that I'm a stay-at-home mom, that I want them to see pictures of my kids. Like, I want them to see my life within my business because they do go hand in hand. And I think that it's helped with relationships after the fact as well. So, they see that it was just my anniversary. I don't know how many customers just commented or messaged me happy anniversary, or it was my son's birthday, type of thing. So that's personally why I do it. And I'm just telling you my system so you can kind of choose if you want to do it or not. But that is how I think the quickest way to grow out of your friends and family circle is simply building the relationship, obviously, with everybody, and then asking everybody for a party.
Okay.
Do you have questions about that?
Oh, no. I mean, I feel the same way. I think I started off more private, and then now every single post I post I make it public, because I think, oh, well, what if there's, like, my mother's friend's cousin or whatever, because I'm weirdo, but I don't mind.
Exactly, yeah. Being a little less private is good, especially social media is like, you can grow a really big network on social media. You know, that it's crazy that our world is like that today, but and so, you know, when looking at your Facebook friends right now, you have 215, I think it was. So if you start doing this from the beginning, and this is what I did from the beginning, and I don't remember how many I started with, but I'm almost to the maximum that Facebook even allows you to have. And so that's where, like, if I'm ever struggling with bookings, or I ever, you know, need to fill up my calendar, whatever it is, when I go do the green dotting, my group of people has grown so much more. And so you're not always reaching out to the same 215 people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of all I have for you. Obviously, as you start getting the parties, so especially for next week, let me look. I'm seeing, hold on. Because I can, of course, add you to parties that I have. I don't have any for the 13th right now. I thought I did. So
I think everyone's on vacation next week.
Yeah, right. Right. Maybe that means we need to go on vacation too. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, so we can just basically, we can talk throughout the next few days, and as you get bookings, I can of course help you. But I think you did really good in your launch party, and I think that you know, seems like you have a hang of it, so that's good.
Yeah.
But let me know too, of course, if you need help with the bookings that you get this month. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know how long it takes for the kit to show up?
It's usually about a week.
Okay.
Or less. A week or less.
Yeah, they said they shipped it out on Monday, so every time I hear a truck in my neighborhood,
yeah.
I think, oh, is it FedEx?
Yeah, it should be here any day then if they shipped it Monday. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, and then the very last thing is I wanted to bring up the Fast Track program again that we talked briefly about last call. Do you remember me bringing that up?
Yep.
Okay, so I want to tell you again that obviously this is available, and so there's $3,000 cash total available to you to basically promote to director by your 90-day is end of November. And so is this something, I know that you're still only in your launch party and you're doing really good on bookings, so that's good. But is this something that you're going to be wanting more training on, that you are wanting to maybe go after, or what are you thinking?
For becoming a director,
Mm-hmm.
how many people are under me, or can you be a director without having someone under you?
So let me tell you what it takes to promote to director, okay? So
Yeah.
so the month that you promote, so let's say November, I'm just going to use that month. You're going to promote to director in November. So in the month of November, you need 5 team members, and they don't have to be directly under you. So let's say I join your team and somebody joins my team, that person would still be within your 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 people. So all 6 of you, your 5 team members and you, need to sell $5,000 that month. And then you personally need to sell $750. So those are basically the requirements in promoting to director. So after you promote, so in the month of December, you're already a director, the only requirement is $5,000 in sales, all total of you combined. Does that make sense?
So it's like a really, really, really big month, November, and then December.
Yeah, and I think I don't even think that it's a big month. When I say $5,000, people are like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. It really is not when you're working with, six of you or more, Basically, if you decide that you want to go after this, and maybe you're like, I still don't even know what this means, like, obviously it's still brand new to you. But if it's a goal that you're like, yeah, I think that I want that $3,000 cash, I would be training you just as I am now on bookings. I'd be training you also how to start building your team. So that's something that you obviously would learn. And then We actually do groups each month, like within our team, that I would just basically place you into, and it's just like a 30-minute call, and you learn. It's really good camaraderie together, like learning what other people are doing as well, but also you're going to get that skill of how to build your team too. And so, yeah, that's kind of what it takes, I guess you could say.
Got it. I mean, I'm right there. Just assuming that Laura's just going to say yes.
Yeah.
She actually found a group for Washington State vendors and events page or something.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't accepted me yet, but she's like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Let's do this.
Wow. So you already maybe have your first team member.
Yeah, exactly. She's kind of doing it without knowing it.
Yeah, right? That's funny. Okay, so do you want to set a goal and try to go after it and start learning those skills, or what do you think?
Can I start learning them next week?
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. We wouldn't start today.
Okay. It's like, there's some other things that I still want to learn with through Dash. I mean, I want to. I want to say I've amazed myself that I've learned all this or understood all of this just in the past few days. So I'm confident that next week or whatever you want to talk about that becoming a director, I think I'd be more comfortable with. Oh well, I know the difference between a rock crock and the stoneware.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I guess I want to know a little bit more of the products, but I mean, I feel like I've learned pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So far.
And I love how you dove right in, and you're watching all the videos like you said, which is great. And that's how you're going to learn. And my biggest suggestion too is, like, I'm 3 years in and sometimes I don't even know answers to some questions. And so don't feel like you have to know everything, like, I know that you want to feel more comfortable with the products. That's totally normal. But just know that nobody's perfect. We all have to, we're all still learning. And,
Well, who do you ask if you don't know? Or where do you look?
So usually I either look on the website. One thing that I do to browse products is I download the Pampered Chef app, and it's the only thing I use the app for, but is to browse products. And usually I'll read the instructions or use and care thing they have, or related items, or whatever the product is. If I truly don't know, you can post on the groups that we have, maybe our team page, or I would just ask another friend and say, hey, do you know this type of thing?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can, of course, feel free to ask me if there's a question that comes up, that you're not sure of.
No, I will.
Okay.
And so I guess you're helping me throughout the first 3 months, and then after that, there's not. I guess I wouldn't really need as much one-on-one after 3 months with how much I've figured out already. But,
yeah. So it's totally up to you.
Like, we just kind of slow down the calls or whatever, or how does that transition work?
Good question. It's totally up to you. I still have consultants that I train or call with and just brainstorm ideas and things weekly or maybe once a month or whatever. We're going to always be in contact, of course. We're on the same team and we're doing this together. So, it's not something that just cuts off and ends, I guess that can say. So my first 2 training calls, to get you started, I just do 2 phone calls. And then of course we just keep in contact throughout your parties as they're going. And then we always have training, obviously we have our team meeting every single month, but there's always training opportunities. There's always opportunities to learn more and get more from your business too. So that's always available.
Yeah. So the Zoom meeting in September. So it's at 5:30. I mean, what's talked about in those meetings? Just to hype up the month, or talk about the last month, or
a little of everything. Yeah. So I recognize our last month, the previous month, and then we do training. So we talk about all sorts of business. So we talk about bookings, we talk about recruiting, we talk about new selling ideas. We talk about all sorts of things, training-wise. And then we do recognition for the previous month, our top sellers, top recruiters, things like that. And then we talk about upcoming things if we have trainings going on throughout the month or these opportunity events that we have each week. I announce that at that meeting and whatnot too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very informational, but also recognition and training too.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
And they might come up, and you know how to obviously get a hold of me, so you can text me or Facebook message me too. So, okay, well, let me know as you start reaching out to people today, tomorrow, and the next day for bookings, and we'll kind of go from there, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.